This video is a collection of a couple of my most recent videos. If you haven't seen them yet, enjoy. It was another day in Murder Mystery 2. I was walking and then suddenly the murder pops up out of nowhere. That honestly terrified me. I assumed the murderer had gone, but I was so wrong. The murderer was gone, so I went to explore. I am honestly so blind. I can't believe I didn't see the gun right there. And then the murderer arrived. I just knew it was the end for me. This round was certainly an interesting one. I thought this one guy acted suspicious by turning around, but this next guy was on a completely different level. He was definitely the murderer. As he went round the corner, I just knew something was about to go down. We literally raced over to see what was going on, but no one was there. I was definitely blind here because I just decided to run straight into danger.
Whew, mamma mia.
Subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
You will never guess what happened next. I was honestly so mad. I discovered who the murderer was pretty quickly. Seeing as they practically killed right in front of me. The murderer moved away a bit, so I tried to get the gun. But by the time I turned back round, the murderer had already ran away. They must have done a loop round because I saw them come from the other way. I started to follow, but then turned back when I saw an innocent running towards me. I honestly don't know what to say about that. I guess the gun curved or something. Let me know what you guys think. I juked the murderer so well this round, you have to see this. I practically walked into the murderer here. I knew I was next. I had to really focus on where the murderer was going to avoid getting killed. That dodge was legendary. I honestly thought they were going to get me here. I did not expect the murderer to ignore me like that. I went around to see what was happening, only to witness the sheriff being chased by the murderer. I hid behind the pipe to stay out the way, but the murderer noticed me. The sheriff got the murderer and saved the day.
Subscribe if you enjoyed so far.
This bacon hair was sheriff, but he kept missing his shots. Not the hero we needed, but the current hero we had. Rip bacon. I'm honestly so glad I got murderer this round. He juked me so well here, I was a bit embarrassed. I don't exactly know what happened here. It took me 2 misses to give up and just get her manually. She was trying to bait me into the vents, so I decided to do a quick sweep of the bottom floor again to make sure she was the last person remaining. I knew I had to face her now. I was honestly so confused. I had no idea how she got me when I didn't even see her. Let me know in the comments what you think happened. The girl did a 180 turn because she thought I was the murderer, only to be killed by him a few seconds later. There was nowhere for me to go. I was trying to avoid everyone, and I thought I could trust this girl. Well, sort of. A couple moments later, someone died, and I could faintly hear the fire effect. We know of one person with the fire effect, guys, so let's go find them. There they are. I was so stupid during this next round. Just watch and wait for it. but basically the acorn head was waiting for the right moments to chop me down. First the ginger left, then the blonde girl went after her, then the murderer jumped over and stabbed me. After the previous round, it pretty much went downhill from here. I went AFK for a second here, but what happened next actually jump scared me so bad. I guess my sacrifice wasn't in vain because the sheriff took the opportunity to shoot the murderer. Now, this round was extremely short and extremely embarrassing. This guy followed me around the corner, so I jumped over him. He came back round and stabbed the nearest person, and you'd think I'd be safe now because he was standing on the other side. Nah, I just didn't see him throw his knife, so I
We suck.
This next round felt very comedic. I turned back to see what was going on, only to realize the murderer was getting closer. I think it was at this point I knew we were goners. It was the way the knife skimmed my ear as it flew by, and the way I bumped into the wall after jumping down. Then something interesting happened.
Why you target me? Do you hate me?
On my way to where the drama is at, ladies, what's the tea?
It's like you want attention.
While those girls were bickering in chat, I noticed the sheriff was getting chased by the murderer. The murderer didn't kill her teammate after practically bumping into her. I went to see what was going on and saw the murderer and sheriff brawling in the corner. Then there was a massacre. I went to go check it out. The murderer was just standing in the corner camping the gun. So I just stood there waiting. Then she suddenly started chasing me. I was immediately blessed with the presence of the murderer. They were kind of doing their own thing, and I was keeping my distance. Then the murderer was getting closer, and I did the unthinkable. I tried juking the murderer instead of running around the map, but when it comes to the house map, it would have been a failed effort regardless. Thankfully, we were all avenged. I waited at the end of the office map. Usually it's the safest place to be at the start of the round. But I noticed this one girl making a beeline straight towards us, so I decided to hide behind the door. And I was right to do so. I knew I was next, and thankfully I had an escape plan. I know briefly escaping wouldn't be enough. The murderer was after me. The knife somehow stuck in place, but it didn't matter because I died anyway. Sadly, we were not avenged this time. In this round, the girl in red here was acting so suspicious. The way she was just moving around and waiting for people. She looked like she was mapping out what to do as murderer. I knew I had to keep my distance, especially when she was walking towards me. A couple minutes later, I heard a stab coming from the other side of the map. Of course, that one girl was walking away from where the murders could have been. I just knew it. And who could have guessed the murderer was a camper as well? I knew I had to get the gun somehow, or at least let someone else grab it while I distract the murderer. I jumped around the corner to keep my distance and test the waters. The murderer took the bait, but somehow extended her arms and got me from 6 feet away. I genuinely was not expecting that, but I guess it's okay because my plan worked.
No.
Subscribe for more Roblox videos.